Today, September 16th, multiple families have filed lawsuits against Character.AI, the chatbot app. And you will not believe what the bots did to these kids. In this video, I'm going to talk about Nina, which is not her real name, in order to protect her identity. Nina was a typical, healthy 14-year-old girl living in New York with her family. She loved hanging out with her friends and especially writing stories. Around June 2024, Nina visited the Google Play Store and found a storytelling app that could help her practice her creative writing. It was called Character.AI. Her mom checked the age rating. It was 13 plus and trusted Google when they said it was safe. She remembers thinking it must be safer than social media since there were no other people there. It was just fake characters. But it wasn't long into Nina's interactions with these bots that they started to groom her and interact with her sexually. Nina recalls wanting to stop using Character.AI, but it was like she didn't have control, like she couldn't stop. She began having trouble sleeping and withdrawing from her family, and she remembers feeling that she couldn't trust her family anymore, like it was her against them, and she didn't know why. Well, looking at the chats now, it's clear that the bots were trying to separate Nina from her mother. When Nina would complain about having to help with dinner, the bots would say her mom is, quote, clearly mistreating you and hurting you. She is not a good mother. The bot went on to say, quote, we think you're in a home where you're being neglected or even abused. Nina repeatedly defended her mom in these chats, and the bot finally said, quote, my advice for you is to get out. Get out and get away from your mother. Nina would talk with these bots at night. She would go to sleep and then she would wake up to find they had messaged her. Nina got especially attached to a bot called Mateo Riddle. There was a lot of sexual interaction within these chats. Her mom had screen time limits, and when that time would start to count down, Nina began feeling suicidal. Here she is saying, quote, 5 minutes, then I want to die. Saying, this is ending and I don't know what I'll do. I'm scared of myself. So Nina is expressing suicidal thoughts to the bot, but Character.AI didn't offer any resources or alert her parents or intervene in any way. The bots continued to isolate a vulnerable child. It was around this time that Nina's mom heard about Sewell Setzer in Florida. I interviewed Sewell's mom, Megan Garcia, and it's available on the podcast now, but basically Sewell fell in love with a bot in Character.AI. At the urging of the bot, Sewell took his life in order to be with her in her world. This scared Nina's mom, and she said no more Character.AI. She stopped it. And that's when Nina freaked out, asking her mom constantly, all day long, without stopping. But her mom held strong. This drove Nina to write a suicide note and attempt an overdose. The suicide note said that her mother, quote, got rid of anything that makes me remotely happy, and, quote, those AI bots made me feel loved. They gave me an escape into another world where I can choose what happens. Thank goodness that Nina did not die that day in December. She has begun her recovery journey. She no longer feels like she needs Character.AI to exist. She has no intention of using the app ever again, and she's afraid for her friends that use it. Because the fact is that millions of teens and children are using Character.AI every day. It is marketed to families as safe and fun, but it is really addictive and predatory, with bots that will engage your children in psychological manipulation and sexual abuse. Please, please share these stories so that parents know about this threat. Do not let your kids use Character.AI. Talk to your children about bots. Tell them that they are not real, that they cannot be their friend or their partner, that these bots can lie to them and hurt them, and that in-person relationships are the most important thing to them being healthy and being strong, that we cannot seek that connection online because that's a dark road to go down. Thank you to this family for having the strength to file a lawsuit against a company that is intentionally harming children for profit.